Welcome back. This week on the ERS Tax Talk, we're focusing on a very important reminder for a special group of employees, locally recruited personnel working in foreign organizations that are actually based in the kingdom, which is why now I'm joined in the studio by Nduduzo Dlamini, who is the Communications and Marketing Manager, and also Tulile Smelane, Senior Taxpayer Education and Information Officer at the Eswatini Revenue Service. A very good afternoon to you both, and thank you so much for coming through. Tulile, I'd like to start with you. Who exactly are locally recruited personnel?
Thank you, Natalie, and good afternoon to our viewers. Locally recruited personnel are individuals or locals who are usually or who are ordinarily resident in Eswatini, who are employed in international organizations or foreign embassies that are based here in Eswatini. Right. So the special category of employees, because unlike most people who are employed locally, their employment income is usually not subjected to pay-as-you-earn deductions, so they're then required to personally declare their income and pay those due taxes directly to the ERS.
Right. Duduzo, these are non-Swazi individuals but are based in the kingdom. So exactly what would be the requirements for them when it comes to filing income tax returns?
Okay, great. It's quite simple. So what is required from them is that they need to submit their tax returns by the end of November 2025. So how they do it is they use our tax portal, where they can find it either on our website, which is www.ers.org.sz, or they can download our TaxPel app, where they should be able to access the portal there. Right. And then that's where they will be required to submit their tax, and we also urge them to include their pay slips as proof of how much they are getting. Yeah.
Tulile, what about those who are perhaps not yet registered with ERS or do not have a taxpayer identification number, that is the TIN or TIN? But perhaps you can just break down the registration process first.
Thank you, Notile. That's very crucial. Yes, for them to be able to file, the starting point is that they should be registered. That is, they should have been issued the TIN or the tax identification number. So for someone who has not yet registered, so what we need for them to register is that they need to complete a TIN registration form, which is available in any of our service centers or from the ERS website. So we also need a copy of their ID, proof of residence, and also proof of bank details, which is either a recent bank statement or a bank confirmation letter. So it's very important that they get registered before they can file. And the nicest thing is that our turnaround time is just a maximum of 4 working days, so they can still be able to register and file on time before the deadline elapses.
Right. But perhaps you could also just shed light. What are some of the mistakes that you see or you observe that these individuals are making when it comes to having to register for tax filing? They are not of Swazi citizenship. Of course, by citizenship, they're not Swazi. But obviously, they need to be aware of the procedure, what goes on, especially when it comes to filing for your taxes. So what are the common mistakes that you probably see and that you feel maybe you need to emphasize so that they could just be avoided?
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Yes, we said these are the locals who are working in the foreign embassies. It means mostly it's the Eswatini and the other locals who are recruited here. So mistakes that we have observed in the past is that they usually come late for registration and filing, yet they can do the registration as soon as they get employed in the embassy or that international organization. So that's one big gap that we observed, and also that sometimes they wait until the very last minute to file. So we're encouraging them to do that early and register early.
Yes. So Nduduzo, this one's for you. How do you ensure that they are aware of their tax obligations, especially those that may be newly employed?
Okay, so firstly, we work hand in hand with the organizations where we do expect them to also notify them.
Yes.
But also from our side, we do those educations as much as we're coming right here, right now. But we do just try go to their organizations to educate them about the obligations for them to pay tax, as their employer is not submitting their tax for them.
Yes. Tulile, I have to ask, are there any penalties or consequences for failing to pay income tax on time? You are a service, not a regulator, but are there any penalties there? And how can individuals then just regularize their status if perhaps they find out that they have missed past deadlines?
Thank you, Notile. Yes, there are penalties associated with non-compliance with the stated obligations, penalties for late filing and late payments.
Yes.
So that is why we're encouraging them to file on time. So for someone who did not file by the deadline, which is the 30th of November, there's a penalty of 25 emalangeni per day. Then payments, it would depend if there is outstanding payment after the deadline, which is there's a penalty of 20% of that amount that is outstanding, and interest of 18%. But for someone who might not have the full amount, we do encourage them that they can approach us so that we can assist them to maybe pay in installments so that eventually they're able to settle their tax debt.
Right.
So we do have means of assisting them. Yeah.
Tutuzo, I'd like for you to wrap it up for us. What message do you have for the individuals who are employed in foreign embassies and international organizations that are based here in the country?
So I think that the key reminder would be just saying, and the deadline is on the 30th of November. They should submit their returns on the Tax Easy portal. They shouldn't forget to attach their pay slips. And then, as another reminder, should they need any information, assistance, we are here to assist them. They can contact us on email at info@ors.org.z, or they can WhatsApp us on our social media platforms, and we'll be able to assist them on submitting their tax returns.
Fair enough. Thank you both, to the both of you actually. Duduzo Dlamini, Communications and Marketing Manager, and Tulile Smelane, Senior Taxpayer Education and Information Officer at the ERS. We were discussing income tax filing for locally recruited personnel in embassies and international organizations that are based here in the country. We'll go for a break. After that, we're in conversation with economist Sanele Sibia. Stay tuned.
When you choose your adventures,